My mom's a white tiger, my dad's a white tiger, but I came out a little black tiger. My dad was so pissed he strung my mom up and beat her for 3 days straight. Then spent 7 days straight cussing out the chimpanzee next door, and still couldn't figure out where I came from. So in a fit of rage, he walked out, leaving me, my mom, and my little brother behind. And honestly, my little brother was kind of an idiot. Back when I just hit 1 month old, Mom went out hunting and left me and my brother alone in the den to play. My curious little brother slowly crept his way out of the cave. What he didn't know was that a fully grown black bear was passing right by. And as a fellow predator, it wasn't about to let a rival's cub just walk away. The bear roared and charged straight at my brother, and that dummy just froze. At the last second, I grabbed my brother and dragged him back into the den. Mom made it back just in time, and we both survived. If I weren't a tiger on the outside with a human soul on the inside, I probably would have been dead long ago in this dangerous forest. That whole thing made me desperate to get strong enough to protect myself. Come feeding time, Mom would lie down in front of us and gently expose her belly. At first I was totally against it, but once that warm milk hit, a wave of heat rushed through my whole body and I felt alive again. So when it came to eating, I went way harder than my troublemaking little brother. After a few months of growing, I started to notice I wasn't quite like other tigers. For one, my appetite was insane, felt like I could never get full, and my body was growing way faster than my brother. I hit 40 kilos at just 5 months old. My brother, barely over 20 kilos. Around this time, we were starting to get introduced to solid meat. The first time I tasted wild boar, raw and bloody, a massive wave of warmth exploded in my gut and spread through every inch of my body. It was like eating meat was literally making me stronger. A month later, we hit 6 months old, and Mom started teaching us how to hunt. All of a sudden, Mom's eyes went ice cold. She'd spotted prey. A herd of sika deer appeared ahead. Every few minutes, one would lift its head and scan the area. I lay still beside her, watching every move, soaking up every lesson. The three of us were downwind. The deer couldn't catch our scent. Mom glanced back, signaling me and my brother to stay put. Using the terrain for cover, she belly crawled toward the herd and closed the gap to under 100 meters in just a few minutes. Then the moment the herd let its guard down, Mom shot out of the grass like lightning, closed in with pure speed and used her body weight to slam the stag to the ground. She locked her jaws in the right spot and ended it. The whole hunt took under 30 seconds. Mom dragged the stag over to me and my brother, licked the blood from the corner of her mouth, then stepped back and laid down. Clearly she was letting me and my brother eat first. But my brother wasn't ready for the raw, bloody meat. When he tried to sneak over to nurse, Mom smacked him away without hesitation. He whimpered and slunk off, looking absolutely pitiful. Meanwhile, I was already going in hard, finished my whole share and still felt hungry. I worked up the nerve to head toward what was left. Mom let out a low growl and looked away, basically giving me the green light. With her blessing, I ate through the bottom half of the stag, and another massive wave of warmth surged up from my stomach. I still didn't know what that energy was, but every time it washed over me, I felt like I had unlimited power. For the next few days, Mom wrestled and played with us in the clearing outside the den, using it to drill us on hunting and self-defense. Life rolled on, chill but serious, until one day everything changed. On our way back from a hunt, we heard a deep, terrifying roar echo through the trees. It was an unknown tiger we'd never encountered before. Mom tensed up immediately, leaped to higher ground to scope things out, and scanned everything around her. My brother just stood there frozen, his whole body trembling with fear. That night, after the stranger tiger showed up, I couldn't sleep. It was the first time I'd ever felt a real threat bearing down on us from the outside world. Mom, worried about our safety, began patrolling hundreds of kilometers of territory around us. That alone was a serious warning sign. For days straight, she didn't let us tag along on any hunts. After days of patrolling with no sign of the stranger, Mom finally let her guard down and started taking us out hunting again. Then one day, something strange went down. Mid-hunt, we came across a brown bear. Looked like it weighed over 300 kilos, except it had already been reduced to just a skull and bones. Right next to the carcass were massive tiger paw prints, making it crystal clear just how powerful this unknown tiger really was. Mom moved in close to examine it, visibly on edge. Even if she'd tried to take down a bear that size, she would have come out severely injured. But after checking the scene, there was zero sign the unknown tiger had been hurt at all. A cold chill ran through me. If the three of us ever crossed paths with this thing, there's no way we'd walk away alive. For our safety, Mom had no choice but to lead us deep into unfamiliar territory. Driven by the pressure of that unknown tiger, Mom pushed us to keep moving without stopping. And just like clockwork, a loud tiger's roar rang through the forest, and Mom didn't waste a single second. She felt an overwhelming pressure closing in. She was certain something was right behind us, and it was almost definitely the tiger she'd never come face to face with before. The only move we had was to put as much distance as possible between us and that unknown male. And just like that, the three of us sprinted full speed for 2 straight hours. When we burst out of a dense patch of grass into open ground, Mom reacted first. She lunged 2 or 3 steps ahead and put herself between us and whatever was coming, letting out a ferocious roar. Up ahead, 200 or 300 meters away, a powerful, imposing male tiger was already standing there, waiting. By his size and coat, this was a tiger who had just hit his prime, conservatively over 270 kilos. Even though Mom was bigger than most female Siberian tigers, against a male this massive, she had no shot at keeping both cubs safe. She had to do something. Mom let out a warning growl, hoping to scare him off, but it didn't work. The male wasn't budging. Instead, with this almost eerie, laid-back confidence, he just kept walking toward her step by step, like he wanted to have a little chat first. 1 male, 1 female, 2 full-grown tigers locked in a stare-down. The tension in the air hit an all-time high. I stayed hidden in the grass, watching every move, trying to figure a way out of this. Then, without warning, the male lunged straight at Mom. She didn't flinch, charged right back. The fight lasted only a moment. Mom got caught at exactly the wrong moment. The sheer force of the male's strike knocked her completely off balance, and she hit the ground. One more move, and those long, razor-sharp fangs would have snapped her neck. Just as I was about to grab my brother and make a run for it, a roar filled with pure rage exploded from somewhere in the trees nearby. It was another male tiger, and for Mom pinned on the ground right now, it was the most precious sound in the world. With the thunder of something charging in fast, an enormous Siberian tiger appeared. He radiated raw, deadly power, bigger, stronger, and more ferocious than the one who'd just taken Mom down. His entire body was surging with killing intent. It was Dad. Dad was absolutely livid. Someone had hurt his family. There was no letting that slide. In the next instant, his eyes narrowed. His massive body exploded forward like a bolt of lightning, and he launched straight at the stranger. Watching two apex predators tear into each other for real. In that moment, I truly felt just how terrifying a full-grown male tiger could be. They traded blow for blow, but Dad's size and experience slowly tipped the scales. The stranger lost an eye to one of Dad's strikes. Just as they were about to clash again, the stranger suddenly spun around and launched himself straight toward me and Mom, hit me with one paw and bolted. It felt like my entire body was being ripped apart. Nobody expected that tiger to just run. Dad came trudging over, swept his eyes over us, and just for a second, something soft flickered in those eyes. He looked almost guilty. If he'd just finished that coward off on the spot, his cubs never would have gotten caught up in any of this. The fight had taken a toll on him too, but nothing too serious. A few days rest and he'd be back to full strength. I don't know how long I was out, but when I came to, my whole body was wrapped in that warm energy and my wounds were visibly healing fast. But Mom was in way worse shape. For animals, a critical injury usually just means leaving it up to fate. Mom seemed to sense she was close to the end. I tried to channel that mysterious energy inside me and share it with her, but I had no control over it. I looked up and took in the forest around us. Then an idea hit me. Maybe somewhere in these woods there was something that could treat internal injuries. After all, most things that work for humans work for animals too. It was early summer, the best time of year for rain and growth, which meant a lot of wild herbs would be sprouting right about now. If I could find an aged wild ginseng root somewhere out here,